Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Xuan Yuan 7. I'm the Mysterious JG, and did just a tiny... Well, I didn't really do any reading. I just briefly went back and watched the last video to make sure it took to see that tiny bit of dialogue that was only on the screen for a second, and it didn't really help that much. But, yeah, this guy... There was a piece of dialogue which I wasn't able to read before it disappeared from the screen last time that said, she calls him, like, Xiong. She calls him Xiong. So apparently this guy's name is Xiong. But this is the general. He's with the Moists, who individual characters get described more so than concepts in the story. But I do know it's a big deal that this scroll is like a secret and we can't let people know we have it. And now I'm really starting to wonder if it's going to turn out to be a thing that the Moists are after that scroll. Or if they find out about it, will they come after us? Either way, his childhood friend Hong, this is the same person, I believe. It's supposed to be the same person grown up. But like even as a little kid, she liked clockwork. And I guess she was involved with the Moists, but now the Moists are in some kind of strange army. And what I'm wondering is her village really wiped out? Or is she like lying to us? Or what's going on? I wonder if it's death to fall down there. Or if I'll be allowed to fall down there. I haven't saved the game, so let's not push our luck. But it'd be kind of nice if there was a save game spot. We just not only did some story stuff, but also... I believe I'm heading away from where we are supposed to go. We did story stuff, enter the Gaoyang ruins. I kind of want to find a teleport rock so we can go back to the village where Dude is actually said he'd talk to us if we got to this village. But this is the end of the world in this direction. The story is eventually going to force us to head towards Kunyang, which is where the next chess match is. Judging by how much of the world map we've cleared, we're getting like to the halfway point in this game, possibly. I did remember reading, I was like a little curious about this game before I bought it, and I did read that it's fairly short for a modern video game RPG release, which honestly I don't have a problem with. Maybe it's because I'm a middle-aged rich Uncle Pennybags compared to some of the kids who are out there trying to buy games who are still in school and don't have money to spend. I don't mind a game that like doesn't overstay its welcome as long as it's good while you're playing it. So the idea that we got to pad the runtime of the game is not. I'm not with you on that. I'm okay with it being short. I don't know if it's worth it to be backing all the way up to this save point, but there are little things like being curious about whether I can fall to machine remains, as apparently it's... Because there's a real chance that as soon as I get back to where I was, there will immediately be a save thing. But it's not guaranteed. So let's backtrack and save just so that I don't have to avoid... No, I want to actually save. The menus in this game are a little weird. The... using R1 and L1 triggers to move on those top menus, and pressing left and right on the directional stick does nothing in a pause menu. It does seem weird to me. What's it like out west? Oh, there's cowboys everywhere. Well, you are small. That sounds nice. I can imagine some really deadly stuff.
西域和商山哪里比较美丽呢？
The West
是
is
没
the
办法比
best.
较的，两个完全不同的地方，各有美丽之处。
我从小到大都没离开过倚地山，要是哪天能到西域去，该有多好。
Maybe in Xuan Yuan 7A, the DLC.
列国的话，只要等它恢复了，自然没有问题。
好呀，这可是你说的。
That's sweet. Okay. Thought for a second I saw something to interact with over there, but no. So far, there's no you take damage from falling. It's either you die or you don't die. As evidenced there. You can see why I wasn't willing to just jump right off of that thing without, you know, without wanting to save first. But, yeah, he's fine with that. That doesn't hurt him at all. See, this is the boss area I was at without you guys. I don't know why you couldn't just come down here and help me fight. Oh, and, what is her name? Chu? I don't remember the name of our, Oh, you can't pause on these. That's interesting. Hong, I think her name is. Yeah, Hong, this is where I was when I eavesdropped on your private conversation with the General Asshole. The real mastermind of Operation Overlord. You guys having any luck hopping on those things? No, it's easy. Here, I'll show you again. Complete waste of time, sorry, but I get that you wouldn't necessarily want to assume that Tai Chi Jiang would be able to do this, because Xiao is supposed to be like the trained martial artist and shit. Hong apparently as well. To their credit, this is common in Asian, particularly Chinese pop culture stuff, where there's a woman who's like a, you know, badass who can handle herself in a physical. Yeah, it's like, we're way faster than you. Get over yourself. But they didn't go the route of making her like, oh, Tai Chi Jiang is the white magic mage because she's pure, and Hong is the black magic mage because she's wise and powerful, but not as pure of. No, they're just like. Hong can like fucking beat the shit out of stuff too. Alright. I know what to say. I'm assuming there's a way to get back up. Okay. Objective updated. And I thought this was going to turn out to actually be a save point, and I was going to feel really bad. Let's not drop down there, because that might be death. There's a lot of just exploring like walking around a fairly linear 3D environment, not necessarily being challenged by enemies. We got some deluxe healing potions. Yeah, I think those drop-offs that we encountered before would be death. But that one looked like it might have been death, and it turns out there was a little treasure chest. But, now we are in the ruins. That is water. We want to bet this is one of those games where water kills. Aha! My instincts pay off. Although so far, this has not been a game where treasure chests give you stuff that you couldn't get otherwise. It's giving you crafting materials that are maybe a little ahead of. Oh.
机关却不受湿气影响，都能持续运作。
Bone
是
dry.
先秦墨家为庇护而建成，以此为基地传承墨学。
That's what you think, huh?
不知用了什么手法，让机关经久不坏。
和商山大寨一样宏伟呢。
瞧，他们还利用浮流运转机关，可说是化劣势为长处。加上山势高低，有利使用机关防守。
Got some dramatic posing she's doing there.
倒是滔滔不绝。
Well, she's a Moist.
只是对师门的崇敬之情罢了。
那么，究竟什么是魔者呢？
A lot of hard work, a lot of pancake makeup.
其实，现在我也很迷惘。
是吗？那擅长机关术的李军，
Oh, you're just sliding that in cleverly. I see, she answers that question by swinging a sword around. Although it's not clear to me if that was an idle animation. Like, I think that was an idle animation instead of, you know, actually her making a point. Like, if the idea was she's angered by the question or angered by that army, that's when you need a, an actual cinematic cutscene instead of just using the in-game models with dialogue coming in over the top. Well, I believe we are now in a dungeon. Is this going to be a puzzle? It is. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing here, though. Like, I don't understand what the... Okay. We had a puzzle earlier that involved moving stuff around, but we kind of had a vague idea. Oh, we've got to complete this picture. Here, it's like, I don't quite know what's supposed to be going on. I'll tell you what, though. I was talking about how people in Taiwan and other Asian markets really just had to settle for American and Japanese and occasionally, like, maybe European games. When I say American, I broadly mean North America. If anybody from Canada or I suppose Mexico. I don't know of any video game industry in Mexico, but yeah, studios and... Yeah, you know what I'm getting at. But, like... This would be a thing where, yeah, back in the day, games like Myst, I guess those would translate really well because it's not like they were dialogue-driven games. I solved that complex puzzle, huh? Here we are at the cloister of the faith. So what is this for? It's gonna turn this tracker, like, on the circle around. All right, so I have a feeling that is going to be of. That similar switches will be useful later, whereas here it's just kind of like, that's probably like more of a tutorial. See, that's what those switches do. Oh. Did she know that we have a resentment towards them? Oh, Lijun, okay.
而你却不同，你这么在意李军，又是为何？
Has he really done that in front of her? Okay, again, I think it's just the idle animation kicks in because she asked the question and we ignore her, but she's still slicing around. See, they position the camera so we can see what this... Oh, never mind. This isn't... I thought I was going to move the same one again. Now, I was able to get up... Is that a gate that opened? Like, was I able to get up here before? I don't really... I'm not quite getting what the puzzle is here. I'm going around flicking switches, but I don't really know what we're trying to do. Now, we hadn't tried to come up these stairs before. I'm wondering if there was a thing blocking us. Oh, maybe this water wasn't on and we just turned it on, and maybe we couldn't have gotten to that switch before because a door to that switch had just opened. I think that's what's going on. So it's not the most complex puzzle ever. And sometimes I'm getting to stuff and it's like, I don't see what the challenge is. Oh, the challenge is if I hadn't already done an earlier piece of the action, I couldn't get to this place. That's probably what's going on. So I may have just like stumbled onto the first thing you have to do to get the puzzle started without encountering other things I couldn't interact with yet, and therefore a little bit mystified as to what the big deal is. Now this seems like... Oh, you know what? Okay, I think I got it. Let's take a chance for no real reason here and hop down and hope we don't fall off the cliff. Here's where... I was like, oh, that switch serves no purpose. They're just using it as a tutorial. No, you do need it. Of course you need it, because we turned on a watery thing that wasn't on before. Now, once we pull this thing over, we can... That's as far as it'll go. Now we turn it around. We move it towards this other thing, which didn't have water flowing before either. All sorts of awesome shit's gonna go down here. And by all sorts of awesome shit, I mean it's gonna open up the door that we've encountered that isn't already open. If anything else happens, I will actually be fairly surprised. Yep, that's the door. Just call me Puzzle Master Billy Kane. Art of Fighting had a character named Billy Kane, who was like... Was it King of the Fighters or Art of Fighting? Those two series are set in the same universe. He was Billy Kane, but sometimes called Cudgel Master Billy Kane, a phrase that stuck with me for whatever reason. Okay. This may be the end of the puzzles for right now, or there could be a whole different set of puzzles ahead. Cinematic, cinematic.
资讯
Uh-huh. Wait, am I Z Sheet?
我
What's
被
going
李
on?
军通缉了，大体上就是这种问题。
Oh.
轰击你，为什么？
No one could possibly want you.
或许是为了我看得比性命还重的东西。
你是说天书？
Oh, so he's going to tell her about the scroll. Well, that's some faith.
历史在逃13年，13年前那场大火。
没错，就是李军下的手。
I didn't see she knew him back then. Seriously? For real though?
香儿身受重伤，也是被他们所赐。
I didn't know they were responsible for the fire. That makes a difference in the story.
你不明白？也许他们是胸怀天下的冤雏吧。为了众人。
Yeah, well, the Phoenix is actually not looking after the world, just sitting in Arizona.
但是我李昭，不过是只小小的吃枭，只求能够照顾好一个小小的家。为了达成这个目的，即便要和李军合作，我也甘愿。
Interesting. Okay.
阿兄，
We're actually getting a little character here. So I hadn't been tracking with that. Maybe I missed some cues at the beginning of the game. I didn't understand that the Lijun Army, well, for one thing, the Lijun Army hasn't been a thing that we've been talking about since much earlier. So I kind of lost track of who they were and why they were important. I didn't get that the Lijun Army were the ones who set that fire and burned down our home and killed our parents. Because I'm being obtuse. The Lijun Army are the army of Wang Mang. Okay, this is stuff. If you already got this, then I apologize that I'm being an idiot and belaboring the obvious. But if you didn't, maybe I'm helping you, because now I'm thinking it through. And this is all stuff that's come up in the last video or so. The Lijun Army is part of Wang Mang's army. Okay, get that. They might not be the entirety of the army, because Hong was talking about how, yeah, the peasants are upset at Wang Mang, but the Lijun Army is only part of his force. But yeah, they are the army that's working with the usurper right now. I want to call them the Imperial Army, but I don't know for a fact Wang Mang took the title Emperor. I think he did. But anyway, yeah, the Lijun Army is the army of the government, but the government is evil and oppressive at this point. And they definitely were connected with killing his family. And even earlier in the game, I wasn't quite putting this together, although it seems obvious. He's working with them, taking their money to help them find monsters. And other than the fact that he wants to be uninvolved and doesn't want anyone to know about the Elysium Scroll, I didn't really understand why he would have a problem with them. But of course he has a problem with them, because all these years later he's living with his sister, and it's secret that they are who they are. I understood that, but it's secret from the Lijun Army specifically. So that's what I wasn't tracking with. So not that there was any real doubt, because like she's introduced to us as a little girl and a good character, and I was joking around. I didn't really think Hong was going to turn out to be evil per se. But yeah, he's shown a big trust to Hong here. His oldest friend, I guess it makes sense, shown her the Elysium Scroll and basically explained that the freaking Lijun Army were the assholes who killed his family, other than his sister. And very sweet. It's one of those things that this very specific idioms are confusing from one culture to the next, but the underlying meanings are not. He says, like, the phoenix is trying to protect the world, but I'm a humble owl, and I'm only trying to protect my family. By which he means Tai Chi Shang. So, you know, for all my faults with the game, like, there's a sweetness at the core of this game, that it's the story of this guy who's just trying to look after his sister, because his little sister is all he has left of his family. There is a sweetness, and something admirable about that as the core of a story, as opposed to, you know, I am going to save the world, you know, like Final Fantasy level, like there are demigod machines who run our world, and one of them is trying to summon the creator god, and like all the massive over-the-top melodrama, Final Fantasy 13 in particular. Like, there's something very sweet and small at the core of this, even though it does involve fantasy and magic and all that good stuff. Yeah, well, you're my little... I'm trying to protect you from that as well. It's none of your business what is actually happening in the world. You're a girl. You couldn't possibly understand, you know, things. This is where we just came from, is it? No, it's not. This is a magic shop. You have magic stuff. Noble liqueur, crimson liqueur, ochre crystal, maximum number reached. Cinnamon incense. What is this stuff? Recover stamina when your attack hits an enemy? Satchel with a twig of laurel inside, said to protect against wind and cold. These seem to be specific to characters, which is odd. But I'll just buy them then. So anything I'm not already holding. Recipe Soul of the Guardian. None of these are very expensive, but they're all kind of neat. Recipe for deluxe healing potion. Yeah, I certainly want to make sure I have all the recipes, even if I'm not going to use them all. So that did cost me a couple hundred gold, but these cost most of it. I spent almost, not quite, almost 1,000 gold there, but okay. All sorts of new reveal going on here. Because she's got a new accessory. So the accessories are character specific, and those were accessories. So she's got attack 10, defense 10, experience gain 10% when killing enemies. Yeah, but how often is she the one getting the kill? That's actually... Here's just defense 10. She's got attack 10, resistance 10, health 10. We just got her something. Defense 5, resistance 5. Probably better than just raw health. Inventories, we got our new recipes that we can play with. Although I'm not really in a big rush to get Soul of the Guardian, 10% stun resistance to all teammates. Soul of the Bogart. It's the Bogart! Oh, accessory workshop. This is upgradable. Okay. So we have new accessories available, although I'm not going to mess with it right this minute. Let's go over to... I've got Soul of Purity, Health Recovery, just because I ran out of other things to do. She's got Absorb Burning Damage and Recover Health. She's got Increase Attack by 15%. Maybe I could make that 10% stun resistance thing, because that works for all party members, not just the one who's got it equipped. Meng Huai's Soul Essence, Soul of Bogard, Pine Wood. We don't have very many Soul of Bogard, so I'll have to get some more. Harness Workshop. What have I got? A lot of rags. $20 rags does quite a bit, actually. More than you might think. Enhance! Got quite a bit of nephrite at this point. Enhance. Soul of the Guardian level 3. Stun resistance by 30%. That seems like a thing that we could be using. Oh, but I'm in the wrong. I should be in Talent and then Harnessed Soul. So what if I turned you into Soul of the Guardian 3? And then I came back to what I was just trying to do. And Soul of Purity is replaced by so burning damage. Yeah. And that brings us to the end of a video. So again, keeping the fingers crossed that this doesn't crash, because we haven't saved any time real recently. But when we come back next time, we will continue the adventures of these guys who don't know that much about each other, but are all basically trying to get back the body of the little girl. That came out weird. Anyway, catch you guys next time.